Politics tonight, and tonight we're discussing Tame Banditry in Nigeria. And I've been speaking with Professor Femi Olufunmilade, a political scientist and contemporary security affairs analyst, as our guest tonight. Prof, thank you so much for staying with us. Let's start with this conversation. And right, let me come in from this angle because experts and stakeholders like yourself have consistently talked about taming the tiger without a bullet. And that's the non-kinetic approach, one of which is a peace-building process that includes dialogue between security agencies and communities. So I'm asking, if this has been explored over time, why is it not working?
Please repeat that, your last phrase.
Right. I want us to look at the non-kinetic approach that have been explored over time in dealing with banditry in Nigeria, because experts like yourself have talked about killing the tiger without a bullet, one of which is a peace-building process that includes dialogue between security agencies and communities. So I'm asking, if this has been explored over time, why is it not working?
Well, when you talk of non-kinetic approach, it means methods other than the use of force.
Absolutely.
When you talk, I hear people talk of non-kinetic. It is a multi-faceted approach to dealing with conflicts. And it's when you really have a conflict that it works. What we are facing is criminality. It's not maybe one community like the Niger Delta militancy, when the region was neglected by the government, federal government, and there was a lot of environmental pollution, a lot of destruction of means of livelihood because of oil pollution. Those who are fishermen could not fish. Those who are farmers, oil spillage had destroyed their farmlands, and so on. And so there was a genuine reason for the youth of that region to take up arms against the federal government because it was an existential struggle for them. And then the non-kinetic approach you mentioned was adopted by President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua of blessed memory when he declared the presidential amnesty for all militants who are willing to surrender their arms. And then he gave them some good offers. If you surrender your arms, I will establish a Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, which will ensure that issues pertaining to your region will be always on the front burner at the highest level of government, which is the federal cabinet, in perpetuity. That was one of the carrots he offered. He also offered them amnesty, that is, they will not be tried for whatever they might have done. And beyond that, they are going to be reintegrated back into society in a generous manner. Those who have had enough formal education were sent to various universities and training institutions, some trained as pilots, etc., home and abroad. I had some of them as my students, hundreds of them. And then those who didn't have much education, they were trained in various vocations, some underwater welding, some things like farming and all that in a modern way. And that brought respite to the Niger Delta because there was a genuine conflict, and dialogue actually produced respite. Oil production, they had reduced it to about 800,000 barrels. It was courtesy of the amnesty that the production level began to soar. So a non-kinetic approach in that scenario where there was really a conflict will work. But when you have a people that are pure criminals, that are abducting people in their various homes, and then asking for unimaginable amount of cash, failing which they start killing, I think that is not, the Niger Delta militants, I never heard of them killing anybody. They were abducting, but not for ransom. They were abducting to gain attention. But these ones, you don't need to be in the line of fire for you to be a victim. You may just be traveling, they pick you up. So these are criminals. It's only making our kinetic approach more robust that will help us deal with such characters. And this is the reason why I have advocated for civil mobilization for self-defense. And what do I mean by that? Every country that, set much store by security normally have what they call reserves. Those are people that when the existing military and security agencies cannot cope, it could be in a war situation, etc., they are mobilized armed because they've had some training. In our own situation, we do not have that in a formal way. So I advocate that a community like Shibok or Dapchi and other communities that are vulnerable in Niger State, in Zamfara State, in Benue State, Plateau, Taraba, Southern Kaduna, and what have you, the federal government should do something akin to civilian JTF in Borno State as a short-term measure. Let each of those communities provide youths under the authority of the traditional institution in that community so that there will be some governance and control. Let them produce volunteers, and the nearest military formation will give them training and get them armed so that they can repulse any attack and they will be able to hold the ground while they are calling for help in the event that there is a form of attack that is likely to become too difficult for them to handle. So that is what we need across the country. All the vulnerable communities should be armed, and they should be armed in a guided, regulated, well-articulated manner, not that you just put arms in the hands of all of them. Of course, the identity will be established, background checks will be done. It could be the traditional council in the community that will say, these are our children. We know them. And whatever training they are given, they will use it to protect us. That will be a short-term measure. We need it urgently. Otherwise, I want to say that the spate of kidnapping, killing, near genocide invasion of various communities across Nigeria, there is practically nothing on the ground that can stop it or stem it as we speak. The only thing that these bandits who have tasted money will understand, like former governor of Kaduna State will always say, bomb them, bomb them, bomb them. I think if they can't be bombed, let them know that wherever they are going to, there are people there armed to the teeth who will repel them. They too want to leave. There should be deterrence. That is what I'm trying to say in the short term, in the short run. The long-term measure is this, the route to it is the state police regime that I mentioned earlier. All right.
So, Prof, let me take you back.
In conclusion, what we need is to rejig our kinetic approach towards banditry and sundry criminal invasions of our territory. It's not a non-kinetic approach. If you have people with genuine grievances that are taking up arms for one reason or the other, that is the kind of situation where you can talk of non-kinetic, engaging them in dialogue and seeing the way out.
All right. So let me quickly take you back to the unfortunate event on the plateau in December. And reacting to that event, the Chief of Defense Staff says the Nigerian Army did not have sufficient intelligence to foil some of these attacks. So I'm asking, what is the place or significance of intelligence in all these?
Well, I consider what happened in Plateau as an incident that is capable of defaming the Nigerian military establishment. A lot of calls were made to the military. And this was not a killing that took place within an hour. I think it spilled over into even to the second day in various communities. It beats me why up till now we have not seen anybody arraigned or paraded before the cameras that these are the people arrested. It beats me why that is not so. And that is why I feel the military should look inwards, because these people left a lot of trails. I watched TV reports where I saw some of the victims saying they knew some of these guys who came to shoot them, but he managed to, you see this one say, I managed to escape because I ran, and so on and so forth. What, have they gone to debrief such people and to ask them who is that person? Where does he live? And so on and so forth. So it's, I don't think it was much as I want to give encouragement to the military and to let the country know that they've been doing their best, that particular incident in Plateau cast aspersions on their leadership, a serious aspersion. Talking of intelligence, there are different types of intelligence, human intelligence. I just cited one, and even if you have gadgets in space, monitoring the ground anywhere, the report of that gadget or satellite, spy satellite or whatever, or drone or CCTV camera will still have to be decoded and analyzed by a human being. So the primacy of human intelligence in dealing with insecurity is incontrovertible. And there is a wealth of human intelligence. Even right from the time the attack was ongoing, phone calls were being made left, right, and center. And how come that these guys destroyed whole communities, killed all that could be killed, and they left? Don't they have helicopters? The Tucano we are talking about, where was it then? Wouldn't it be put to use? Was there no way these communities could be cordoned? I mean, if you knew they were attacking in point A, and they are likely to move, then you start figuring out what could be the exit, and you lay ambush. So that is one area President Tinubu should look at. The fact that each time we have reports of killings on unimaginable scale, we never hear of anybody being arrested. In most cases, nor anybody being paraded, nor anybody being taken for trial or punished. That is why it is a major reason why the whole thing is not abating. And even when some people get arrested, I can give you an example. There was a man called Iskilu Akilu. He was terrorizing the Okegun region of Oyo State and Ibarapa. A lot of outcry has gone out, but nothing was done to this man. He will abduct women, they will rape, they will cut people's hands, they will, invade villages, farm communities, steal, loot, do whatever they liked. It was a terror. Then, the Yoruba people in that community went to the leader of OPC, Iba Gani Adams, and he deployed some OPC elements to Kajola. That was where the man was. And they got the man arrested. But what happened? The people that arrested this man, they took him to the police headquarters in Ibadan. They got detained. A share was given to Iskilu Akilu to sit like a VIP. Eventually, he was released. You can find out what I'm talking to you about. Those people were even charged to court who arrested him that they were on illegal policing duty. I've been hearing lawyers talking of citizen arrest. Is it a crime to arrest a criminal? So that is the kind of thing happening around the country. That is why some people don't want to even go and report when they see anything happening, because they are afraid that this person is so powerful that if I report him, they will come for me because it will soon be released.
Absolutely.
President
Prof,
Tinubu
let me
should
come
look
in
into
here.
how
Right.
those who have been apprehended can be publicly tried.
Absolutely. Let me come in here because we're almost out of time. One of the cardinal points of the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu is security. Do you think the president has the right structure and measures in place to tackle this menace head-on?
Well, I think the president is rather too slow for my liking. He has set up a constitutional review committee into policing, but it appears they are working in secrecy. The matter facing us is not a secret affair. They should have a public discussion. They should throw their doors open. There are people who can add value to what they are doing. And the process should be hastened up so that we can have a new policing architecture that is a true reflection of the federal system we purportedly operate in letters, but not in practice, whereby you can have states having their own policing structures, even local government. And so it should hasten up that and then make it a public affair. It's not a secret affair. Then secondly, it should also remember that he said he's going to deploy technology to fight insecurity. It's in that renewed hope agenda. I have not seen much of that by way of drones. Drones can be used even when you say you cannot access an area, like what happened in Plateau. Can't drones be deployed to track the movement of those attackers in real time? In real time. If we need help, let us reach out. The United States has a base in the Niger Republic. In any case, we have said we are not dealing with Niger for now, but we can deal with the United States directly, so that we can collect a lot of intelligence using drones.
All right, Prof. Sadly, we're out of time. I wish we had enough time for this conversation, but I'm sure we will continue some other time. Thank you so much. I've been speaking with Professor Femi Olufunmilade, a political scientist and contemporary security affairs analyst. Thank you so much, Prof, for your insight on the program tonight.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
And that's all we have for you.